Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gent Sense. Did you know that Creed is mad expensive? No, not that Creed. That Creed is actually cheaper than the Creed I'm talking about. I'm talking about these ones. More specifically, both of these. Sparing no expense. Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gent Sense. Hope that you're doing well. Yeah, Creed is expensive. Surprise. We all know that already, of course. These are two of the newer ones, Delphinus and Centaurus. These retail for $545 US. Lucky me though, I bought mine from discounters. I've kind of put out of my mind how much I paid for them. What was it? It was like $3 something each, I feel like. $350 maybe? But yes, Creed, as I already stated, is expensive. And because of that, people are constantly looking for alternatives to Creed fragrances. And today, I got two. One for each one of these fragrances right here. Now I have linked in the description both the Creed fragrances and their alternatives if you want to check them out, so they are down there. And the cost of the alternatives are 60 doll hairs each, but that's assuming you don't use a discount code, which you should, because that's what you should do. That's good reasoning right there. That's using the noodle. But if you go onto the website for these fragrances, there is always a code like on the front page. I think it changes every so often. Right now it's a 36% off code. So it's not actually 60 bucks. It's whatever that code will give you minus math with less than 60. But the fragrances are these small dilly-dallies right here. And I'm gonna be telling you how good or not so good they are. They are both from Dua, or the Dua brand, as it says on top of the cap here. This one is called Cosmic Sky of Amber, which is Delphinus. And this one over here is the Centaur constellation, which is Centaurus. That one makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Now, obviously these come in much smaller presentation sizes than the Creeds. These are 34 milliliters each, not 30, not 33, 34. And I've actually had these for a while. I picked these up in, I think it was like beginning of November. I don't know, I'll have to check actually. Yeah, November 14th. That counts as beginning of November, right? Oh yeah, and one more thing. I'm gonna do a giveaway. So I've picked up a number of different Dua fragrances, some that I have talked about on this channel, some that I have not, and frankly, I need to clear up some room. So I'm gonna be giving away a few to you guys here today. Hashtag attitude, milky coconut magic, and stronger with Dua leather. Milky coconut magic. Kind of weird sounding. So I'll be giving away these three fragrances to you guys later in the video. Let's go ahead and start by taking a look though at the presentation of these two newer ones. Now the bottle style is the same across pretty much everything. It's this, again, 34 milliliter size bottle, and you have a sticker which is different depending on the fragrance that wraps around and kind of bookends the fragrance. So you can put them like so and line them up in your shelving or your bookshelf or top of your dresser, wherever you put them, and you can just read the names like that. They also come in a little pouch, but I tossed that pouch when these came in a while ago, a couple months ago, so no pouch today. So here is Cosmic Sky of Amber. You've got the size and concentration, name of the fragrance, name of the brand right there on the front. You have the name of the fragrance on the side of the bottle, and then on the back it says Extrait de Parfum, the Dua brand on top of the wooden cap, which slides snugly into place. And let's take a look at the Centaur constellation. Basically the same, other than a different design and a different name. And you'll also notice that the fragrance itself, the juice, as some people like to call it, is a little bit darker in the Centaur constellation versus Cosmic Sky of Amber. And you know what time it is. It's time to spray. All right, first, the Cosmic Sky of Amber, or excuse me, Cosmic Sky of Amber, no the. Here we go. Ooh, really nice pressurized atomizer. Sit you to the side. And then Delphinus. Ooh. So I guess let's talk about this one first, since I sprayed those out already. If you are unaware of Dua for any reason, they have approximately 52 million different clone fragrances, to the point that it's frankly almost overwhelming. Basically for me, if it's not like on the front page, I'm just not even gonna be aware of what's going on there. Like right now, they have most awaited new hybrids, French macaroons nights at Casino Royale. What is that? But yeah, they have a bajillion fragrances. I'm gonna go to all fragrances right now because I'm curious how many there are at this point. 2,348. Look at this, 2,348 total, 118 pages. You guys thought like Lattafa was putting out too much? So yeah, Dua has a lot of stuff. They have a lot of stuff. And the first fragrance I ever smelled from them, I absolutely hated. Hated it. Then I tried a few others. The Baccarat Rouge 541 was okay. That was years ago, and then basically just forgot they existed. And of course, as time goes, people were like, hey, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? Which has led me to now. Okay, so note breakdown for Cosmic Sky of Amber. According to Dua's website, it has black pepper, incense, almond, pink pepper, heliotrope, orchid, orris butter, patchouli, tonka, amberwood leather, and Madagascar bourbon vanilla. Essentially just the same note breakdown as Delphinus, so go figure. And here's the deal with Delphinus. I love the opening of Delphinus. I think it is absolutely fantastic. My wife recently actually did a ranking of 15 of the most popular Creed fragrances, and she loved Delphinus, except for the opening, because that's where you get more of the iris that comes out, and she's not a massive fan of iris, but I am. So she really loved the dry down of this one, and then the opening she was a little more iffy, whereas I absolutely love the opening, but I feel like it doesn't last long enough for me. Either way, Delphinus opens just absolutely fantastic. Vanilla, iris, a little bit sugary, very fresh, bright, but then that sweetness just really adds some depth, some body to the fragrance. It makes it interesting. It's completely unisex. Ladies can pull it off, guys can pull it off. Maybe it leans slightly feminine, but it smells amazing. As it dries down, it's not quite as interesting for me then, but that's the part my wife actually likes more, like I just said, because the iris kind of gives way and you get more of that vanilla that comes out. There's also almond in here off the top, which adds a nice creamy aspect to the scent as well. And the leather here, very smooth, elegant, and well done. So that's Delphinus. Cosmic Sky of Amber essentially smells really ridiculously close to Delphinus. So of all the Dua fragrances that I've smelled so far, which admittedly is not a huge number, I've got, I don't know, maybe 8 or so over there. I've got the 3 that I showed you just now that I'm gonna give away, these 2, and then the 2 older ones. And we'll get to this one, but this one right here is, I would say, the closest one that I have ever smelled that they have done. Now, it's not the exact same. Delphinus is a little bit deeper off the top, whereas Cosmic Sky of Amber hits you with a touch more sweetness. And then as it dries down, there's a little bit more warmth in Delphinus. So you have a bit more of that kind of hugs the fragrance almost. That sounds kind of weird, but that's how it comes across. Whereas you get a little bit more of that semi-sugary sweetness that carries over in Cosmic Sky of Amber, just a touch more than Delphinus. But this is one of those ones where if you're familiar with this, spray this on, yeah, does the same thing. In the air, smells absolutely killer. And in typical Dua style, Cosmic Sky of Amber, a little bit louder than Delphinus. Again, if you're unfamiliar with Dua, they typically ramp things up to 11. For better or worse, it's usually ramped up to 11, which means you're gonna have a lot of times like a little sheen where you spray the fragrance on, like straight to parfum concentration, all that stuff. They're usually pretty loud and last for a long time. And so you get more performance here in comparison to Delphinus. Delphinus for me has okay longevity. It does sit closer to the skin than Centaurus. So it's not like a projection monster, but the longevity is solid, talking about the Creed. This one, the Dua, everything bumped up a bit as far as performance goes. So Cosmic Sky of Amber, fantastic smelling, woody, ambery iris with nice warmth and sweetness. That iris really appealing off the top, just like in Delphinus. Very good. Now, Centaurus, which this one my wife actually liked more than Delphinus, which for me, I also like Centaurus overall a little bit more than Delphinus, just as far as like what I want to wear. Now, for some people, you know, Delphinus is going to be a more elegantly done fragrance, maybe a little higher end, but I really like what they did with Centaurus. That stuff smells great to me. So it's a spicy, warm fragrance, a decent amount of sweetness, not overdone or anything like that, but yeah, a lot of spices. Tobacco in there as well. You also get hit with like an ambery vanilla in Centaurus. I feel like it clearly leans more masculine when you compare it to Delphinus. A little better performance for me as well. I think fall and winter time just really, really good. It's that type of fragrance that walks the line a little bit between niche and designer. I think it leans more niche, but it has that kind of designer sensibility to it in the sense that you can wear it very often, you can pull compliments with it. It's got good versatility, as long as it's cold out. So the Centaur constellation, let's hit the notes there. There are a few of them, so here we go. And by a few, I mean a lot. Not that I'm complaining. You know, it's got more than 3 notes, so I'm not complaining. It's got cardamom, cinnamon, tobacco, pink pepper, geranium, sandalwood, heliotrope, jasmine, patchouli, benzoin, tolu balsam, tonka bean, ambroxan, and bourbon vanilla. So yeah, you can look at that note breakdown right there. You can tell right away kind of what style this is. Some people said that Creed Centaurus reminded them a little bit of Amouage's Boundless. So if you're familiar with Boundless, it's kind of in that style. I would say between the two, that I do think Centaurus is easier to pull off, for what that's worth. So, as I said, Cosmic Sky of Amber over here. That one, extremely well done. How is the Centaur constellation? Well, apparently, it's maybe not quite as popular as Cosmic Sky of Amber, because this one is sold out as of when I'm shooting this video. Again, I'll have it linked in the description. I have no clue when or if they're getting more in, or I guess they'd be making it, right? Not getting stuff in. But this one is still readily available. So I guess Delphinus over here, more people want an alternative to that one. So I'm wrong to like Centaurus more. So this one, really close. This one, actually closer. The Centaur constellation is freaking sick. So obviously I sprayed them on just now. In the air, ain't nobody gonna tell the difference. You can convince yourself otherwise, but it ain't true. They are really, really ridiculously close to smelling similar. It was like almost going Zoolander, but didn't go full. I think if you're splitting hairs, and I mean, we are talking splitting hairs, you maybe say that the Centaur constellation is a little bit, once again, sugary off the top in comparison to Centaurus, a little bit sweeter. Not that it's a net negative, because it isn't, but you do have a little bit more of that sweetness coming across here, whereas Centaurus leans a little bit more into the spices right away when you first spray it on. So with the Centaur constellation, it has a very sweet pipe tobacco when you spray it on. You have all those different spices, the cinnamon, the cardamom, working right there in tandem, again, right off the top. That sweetness does carry over for longer in this one. Again, Centaurus is gonna start leaning more into that deeper, warm, spicy side of things a little bit earlier on, whereas this one lingers more on that sweet tobacco before it starts to get a little bit deeper and warmer and spicier as it dries. The spices are there in the opening, like I said. It's just as that tobacco kind of starts to step back a little bit, it allows the other notes to come up, whereas Centaurus, you get that earlier on. Also, in terms of the dry down, you're gonna get a little bit of a bolder vanilla in Centaurus. It's kind of this tonka, woody vanilla mixture, ambery vanilla. So you're gonna have a little bit more of that, that deeper aspect coming through in Centaurus earlier on. And you're gonna have, again, more of that sweet aspect here that eventually catches up to what Centaurus is doing as it dries. But that is, again, splitting hairs, and that's legitimately doing this deal, which is not realistic for most people to spray on 2 fragrances at once and walk around during your day doing like, I don't know, dude. What do you think? What do you think? Here, hit this. In the air, it's as good as Centaurus. And the same thing that I said about performance with this one carries over to this one. Extrait de Parfum leaves your skin shiny for a long time wherever you spray it. I wouldn't spray this one on your clothing. You'd probably stain it up, especially if it was like a white shirt or something like that, so don't do it. These two are the best Dua fragrances that I've smelled so far. In a couple of the hauls that I've done here, over the past year or so. I think I did like 2 hauls of Dua fragrances. Of those fragrances, there would be like usually 2 that were really good, maybe 1 that was kind of iffy that I didn't like so much. So it was like a little bit hit or miss. Some of them really, really nice. Other ones like, well, you know, take it or leave it. These 2 are great. These 2 could go up with like any other clone brand, clone fragrance, don't matter. These are really, really stupid good. Like they need to bring this this with everything. I know it's not feasible when you've got like 2,000 something fragrances to have every single one of them be good, to be fair. But this is like the type of stuff that leaves a good impression, is all I'm saying. The differences are there, but they are subtle. And when you pump up the performance anyway, it's kind of hard to keep everything the exact same, I feel like, because you're kind of rebalancing everything. So anyway, there are the new Creed alternatives, clones, impressions, inspired bys, ripoffs, whatever you want to call them. But they're freaking good. Let's do the giveaway. So we got hashtag Attitude. This one is a clone of Armani Attitude, which is a fragrance that I own, very much enjoy. It's discontinued, unfortunately. And that's one of my things, right? Clones of discontinued fragrances. Bring them back, or just bring them back, period. Like the real thing, that'd be good too. I'd like that, thank you. So hashtag Attitude. This one is, well, kind of goes without saying, stronger with Dua leather, stronger with you leather. And this one is a Dua original, Milky Coconut Magic. And this is one that I remember when I got it in, I was like, oh, cool, coconut, I like that. Kind of like Le Beau. It's thick. Sounds Milky Coconut Magic is thick. Ooh, wait. But yeah, it's sweet, sticky, heavy, strong. It has been, I guess, macerating for a while now. It smells a little better than I remember. You can tell it's been macerating because the colors got darker. Because this one wasn't even this color when I got it in, but it is now. Look at that one. So anyway, these three right here, we'll go ahead and do a giveaway for those. You just have to like the video, be subscribed to the channel, leave a comment below. In the comment, how about just let me know your favorite fragrance? That's all you gotta do. Super simple. Whatever it is, your favorite thing, let me know. Give me a couple weeks, I'll pick a winner, random comment picker, throw it up on the community tab of the YouTube channel, and if you're the winner, I will put these in a little mailer and ship them on to you. So there we go, guys. Thank you for hanging with me. If you've been looking for alternatives to these two, I can recommend both of these. Both are solid. Stay safe out there, guys. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.